Hi guys, I'm going to walk you through the PhET simulation for natural selection. So I'm on a Google Classroom page, classwork, daily agenda. Click on this link. It will take you to my website. And you can click on the PhET, which is the interactive simulation. The questions that we are answering are on this document. I might as well open that one up. We did page 1 and 2 in class. So we read this article. You should have filled this out in a breakout room, and we're working on this page 3 and 4. For these fillable documents, you guys need to download them, otherwise it's not going to save what you type on there. Okay, some people are saying, it lost all my information. Well, you didn't download it. Alright, natural selection. So it says, let the bunny hop around until it dies. So right now the bunny is hopping. That's basically what, like, if we just let this bunny go, it doesn't have limited food, there aren't any predators, it's just going to keep hopping around. Okay, you can change, this is the desert, this is the snow, you can already tell why that bunny is better suited for that environment. You can add mutations when the directions say to, like I printed my papers out. You could have them open online. We've got dominant and recessive traits. We can introduce predators, wolves, we can limit their food, we can watch them hop around. So, question 1, why is the population growing? Well, right now it's doing nothing, right? There's one bunny. What do they need? To grow, we'll probably need a mate, right? So let's add a mate. And then down here it starts counting, generation 0. First generation, you're going to notice a change in the population. Okay, we got some new bunnies. Second generation, ears coming along. We can fast forward it a little bit. Okay, second generation, we get a lot of bunnies. Third generation, I'm going to pause. Okay, so fur color. Why do white versus brown bunnies survive in both environments right now? If I would have ran the same simulation in the brown, like the desert or the grassy, you know, like forest, these bunnies are surviving. Why? I'm not going to answer that question. You got to answer that question. Click add a friend. Well, that was add a mate. After 3 generations, click pause. What happened to the population of bunnies and why? You can pause whenever you want. Predict what would happen if you add wolves. Alright. And then task 2, add wolves. Select wolves as the selection factor and then click play. Predict what will happen to the bunnies. Write down your prediction. Here come the wolves. Play. Add wolves and pause after 1 generation. So pause. Okay. It says, what happened to the bunnies? Did the result match your prediction? Observe how the wolves attack the bunnies in each environment. So let's change our environment. We're going to push play. Oh, okay. What happened there? So here comes some wolves. I'll let it go 1 more generation. I'll pause it. Okay. Okay, so task 3, add brown fur. Select wolves as a selection factor and click on brown fur. Okay, I just made brown dominant and white recessive. Here we go. So dominant, if you have at least 1 copy of that gene, that is the one that is going to be expressed. Predict what will happen to the bunnies this time. Pause, generations, what happened to the brown bunnies. I'm going to push play again. So we've got our generation counter up here. We've got some brown bunnies. Ooh, down to 2 bunnies. Okay, what just happened? Fast forward a little bit. All right, I'm going to pause it right there. Okay. What happened to the brown bunnies? Task 4, change the environment. Predict what would happen to the bunnies in a different environment. Select Arctic environment. Click play. What happens to the brown bunnies? Fast forward. What is happening here? We'll go to the next generation. I'm going to pause. I can change the scale here so I can see my graph a little bit better, like I was getting off at the top there. All right. Questions at the end. So you can play around. You can change the mutations. You could limit their food. You can see what happens there. You have these populations. You can check pedigree. So these are, if you remember doing Punnett squares, hopefully you did them in 8th grade. But if you didn't, you know, that's kind of what happened. I'm going to check this bunny right here. Okay, there's that bunny. He's like the great, oh, he died. How sad. Poor bunny. Okay, so you can play around proportions, white fur and brown fur. I can change the environment again and see what happens. Like what's going to happen over time. I should have some brown alleles in here. Where did all my brown alleles go? Okay, but, you know, I thought I had some brown alleles, but maybe they all died in the last one. So, hey, I don't remember exactly what happened. I wasn't watching alleles before. That's kind of cool. Okay, how did the wolves act as a natural selection pressure? How did the environment change? The natural selection pressure was applied by the wolves. Which bunnies were better suited for the equator? So this is the equator right here, the brown environment. Which bunnies were better suited to the Arctic environment? What would need to happen for the bunnies to survive the Arctic environment? What do you predict would happen if food was a selection factor? So if I'm going to change this to limited food, if you have time, reset the form. So down here, this little orange arrow is reset. Select limited food and go, you can animate and you can play. Play around. Maybe I want to check my pedigree or proportions. I'm going to add a recessive allele and see what happens. And then the last question is, how would you define the fittest bunny? Okay, so over time, they only do 2 generations. Here we go. Okay, you can see the values changing. So play around with it, see what happens, and fill out this paper, turn it in onto Google Classroom. I will have a link up today. Today is Friday. It will be up for you to submit your document. All right, guys. Thanks for being great. See you later. Bye.